When you're new to this process, you're wondering how you're going to get a laundromat business and how it is going to profit and all of that stuff. Then maybe you find Danny D'Angelo. You have, because you're watching this on the YouTubeinator. Maybe you decide to watch 1,000 YouTube videos that I have created, and they're here on my channel. Go ahead. Don't click away yet. Maybe you decide to get the silly course. Maybe you decide to consult with me on the phone. It's a never-ending phone consultation. I don't charge by the minute or the hour. That's silly. I'm real. Maybe you decide to bring me on board and have me negotiate landlord lease deals the way that you see on my live channel content. Maybe. At that point, you know everything that my clients know. What happens then when you deviate and you try to have shortcuts? Well, that will see you fucking up. And every single time a client does it, they always come to me, head in hands, woe is me, I shouldn't have done it, but I did. That's what we're about to witness. Here we go. Jordan, my name's Danny.
Yes.
I'm looking at some commercial space. We just might be interested in a 15-year lease, giving you a rent check over here if all the stars align. There's a little strip mall with a laundromat. And
yeah. Are you, the Laundromat is available. Is that the one that you're interested in?
That is exactly what I do, Jordan. I've been doing laundries for 21 years, got a few stores in 3 states. My partners and I would be your guarantors, again, if the stars align. Bit of experience in the business. And this is what I do. I look for stores that fail. Obviously, a lot of these knuckleheads don't know what they are doing, and they buy them, or they build them, or they spend too much on the equipment. We hope not to do any of that. And yeah, if it's available, that's great. The bottom line, if the rent is feasible and reasonable for a laundry, I want to try to beat you up on that rate and get an LOI in your hands and have another successful store. We end up doing pretty well because we do it right, if that makes sense. And everybody hopes to do that, but it's everything with a laundry, and it's not absentee. You can't sweep your way out the door and then have automatic locks. That's not the reality of this business. I could go on and on, but I don't want to bore you. What's the square footage, and what would be your ask long term? We need a minimum of 15 years because we retool just about every 7.
But what do you think? Some people can't handle it.
I need to double check on the size, but I think it's approximately 2,500 square feet.
Yeah.
And the rent is $7,500 per month, triple net.
I don't blame you for that ask. May I ask, Jordan, your relationship with this building? Do you work for the landlord? Is it a family company? Do you have vested interest?
I work for the management company.
Okay. I would love to jump all over, what are we asking here? $2.10. If you don't mind, I would love to explain. The laundry business, right? I've got to throw probably $400,000, maybe even $5,000 without breaking a sweat. Yes, I'm happy that I have a leg up because the infrastructure is there. That's why we are talking. Not about demographics, not about competition. I make half my money on Sunday, and I play catch up the rest of the week. That being said, it's a great business. It is. But I need the best possible rate you can do for me for a laundry, not necessarily for LA. And I know what you're going to say. Maybe you vanilla the space. Maybe you get rid of the laundry entirely. Still a great business and a great anchor, but I just need the standards lowered a little bit with reasonable, commensurate adjustments, and we get a little closer to doing this right.
Are we negotiating?
Let me do this. I'm going to go to my office and I'm going to check the lease of the previous tenant. And
Yeah, let me know.
if their lease was any lower than that, I believe 7.5 is what they were paying, which is what my office wants for it now. But
Sure.
if they are trying to get something higher than that, maybe I can convince them, like, hey, why don't we just try and ask what the last person was paying?
I appreciate that. I really do. I can hear in the tone in your voice that you're trying to work for us. I don't have a mouthpiece in this. And let me poke you a little bit. The last guy failed.
Okay.
So a lot of that.
Yeah, well, there was a particular circumstance. They actually got saddled with the debt of the previous owner, which was a mistake that they had made. So that was a lot of the problem.
I have a lot of stories for you, my brother, in the Naked City. And what did I say? It's always some poor bastard that doesn't know what they're doing. They don't and you know what? Without greed, there are no con men. And on both sides, it's normally the mark that's greedy. Oh, I'm going to make money, just pick it up out of the streets with a laundromat, and I'm going to prey on poor people. It's not that. And the distributors, I don't know who it is in this case, they sell the equipment again and again. I don't know who they are. I have known about this laundry for years. When the doors shut, my little birds tell me, we go by and have a look. We saw your number on the glass. Here we are. I want to lease the place, but I'm not going to end up cutting my throat to do so. All of my stores have to profit. All right, let me do this.
Okay,
What's your email address? Very well spoken. I got it the first time. All right, bud. Listen, I'm going to, and this is your cell phone, I assume, because this is my cell phone.
Yes.
Top of the food chain. All right, Jordan, let's talk about this. You text me anytime, day or night. This is my wireless. I want to get this thing hammered. I mean, we're going to try to beat you up on abatement. This is a big investment for us, but I don't want to come at you every 6 months saying I need a rent reduction. Not my thing. Thanks for the time. Let me know. I'll send you an email.
Okay.
All right, ciao.
All right, bye.
That's what you hired me for. What do you think?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Awesome. Awesome. I mean, yeah, it's just going back to what I was saying, like, so we would have been we could have got ourselves in a lot of trouble. So we're happy that we went this route. We found you, and learned how to do this right, got the right plan. And now we've got your experience to work off of as well. It's even more of a bonus. So how the hell are we going to negotiate a freaking lease when we've never done it before?
Yeah, I'm. Yesterday, I talked to a young lady that wants to do this herself because she feels that she can't afford my fee. Okay, I understand that.
Freedom, baby, is never having to say you're sorry.
But the reason I bring it up, I told her, I said, look, my heart is in this to make sure that you do this right. And she said, well, this landlord seems really nice. I said, okay, how many buildings does he own? And she said, several. All right. Older guy, younger guy. I don't need demographics, right? She said, he's older. And I said, he's not your friend. If he owns several strip malls, he's negotiated likely dozens, if not hundreds of leases in his life. He's not your friend. You've never done it.
Master.
Free will, it is a bitch.
So when I deal with these guys, like this guy, Jordan, I asked him, I want to know who he is. You thought he was the landlord's son. He's not. He works for, we found that out by Googling the number and then going further. And he might have said, yeah, my dad owns a bunch of buildings. Doesn't mean he'd necessarily care. But I ask those questions to get the real answers because it does matter. And you have to know when to ask. If it's some old Italian guy from Brooklyn who's yelling at me, it's going to be a different conversation because he's passionate. This guy, he says, I'll go and do my best, which I think he will. But the difference is instead of just saying, well, I can't pay that, that's too much, a laundromat can't afford that, I explain why. And then I couldn't help myself at the end. Hey, we're going to beat you up on abatement. We need TI money, all this. So gird your loins, bud. And it's not going to come out of nowhere. I'm not going to tell him we need $1 a square foot. I'm going to tell him who we are, what we do, and how we do it. And then he's going to get back with us with you got to be careful. A negotiator can never say, this is my best rate. If he says it's his best rate, I'd be like, don't say that, because it's not. You can never come back from that.
Don't get too cocky, my boy, no matter how good you are. Don't ever let him see you coming.
Or Well, that's my best rate for a dollar store, not for a laundromat. Okay, good. Thank you. That's the way you play the game. It's being real. It's the same way I talk to you guys or Tamara on a live or my client who pays to hear me talk. You don't pay to hear me talk. You pay to watch what I do. And this is not a deal. Don't lose sleep over this. Stop talking to brokers.
Who in their right mind?
All right.
I'm going to email this dude and CC you. If he calls, texts, writes, sends a carrier pigeon, I'll text you right away.
Okay.
Nice
what
work.
would we have to be at to be realistic?
In LA, $20 a year.
$20 a year, so...
Yeah. Do all that math and figure out what it is. I'm leaving. Talk amongst yourselves.
Talk to you later. Thank you, Danny.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Danny.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm pretty sure this hot water heater's got a few more good years left in it.